Grace and peace, beautiful people. Grace and peace. I hope all is beautiful in your world. Part 4, man. Part 4. I say, you know what? Let me go ahead and keep going on behalf of this one. Part 3 was about 2020 had the heart attack. Oh, yeah. I didn't even mention. I supposedly had a heart attack. That's what the doctor said. The doctors told my family that I had a heart attack. And, you know, I guess I was on watch. You heard, man. But anyway, before I get to all that, I was brought into your world. I am Tommy Durrell. Okay? I'm Tommy Durrell. I was brought into your world to help create positive change. You heard, man? To all my new people, hey, welcome, baby. I got so much to teach you. I'm telling you, I got so much to teach you. I'm going to set you apart. You heard, man? To help you to get to the you that you're really supposed to be. Now, as you listen to my messages, if you listen to this message with the carnal mindset, because you got to think, you may be just coming in on part 4. You need to go back to watch part 1, 2, and 3. You heard, man? Part 4. If you listen to my message with the carnal mindset, I guess you ain't going to get nothing out of this message. The only thing you're going to get out of it is what you've been getting out of it in every other situation. Like them fight videos you like to watch, you heard, man, on them social media phishing type of situations where the baby mama supposedly still talking about the baby daddy 8 years later, and you go and you add yourself to the pool, and in that particular pool, you realize that your money funny since you added yourself to those particular thoughts and that particular pool. You got to understand there's certain spirits that's in this realm that know all the other spirits that don't know themselves, so they reign supreme on those particular spirits. They can't teach them nothing. You think about it. It's not designed for them to teach them. They have a certain particular reason why they came into this particular world. Now, mind you, this may be you as well, but I'm going to get to that as well, because it's not about being bitter. It's not even about showing attention to it. It's just about recognizing it, seeing it for what it is, and watching all the individuals that's in it get bamboozled. But anyway, if you listen to this with the religious mindset, you're going to get something from it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, wisdom and understanding is what I'm all about. I've been about this. It's just that I didn't know what to do with it. You heard, man? If you listen to this with the spiritual mind, you're gonna get a lot of food. I'm gonna feed you good. You heard, man? Because it's going to set you up for what's to come. You know what I'm saying? Messages like this is considered as helping you to see yourself getting to your truth, because that's all it is. You got to think. In the Matrix, they just told us to pray. You heard me? But until you pray and have the actual relationship, then you shouldn't be expecting no particular blessings or nothing like that. Well, how come my prayers not working? Your prayers not working is because you're not deep enough into your relationship, and that's the reason why you have to be on the waiting list. You heard me? Remember Big Mama said? Big Mama said, go ahead and just pray, baby. It's gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. The Lord gonna take care of you. That's those family secrets. They got to think, they programmed you from a long time ago with those family secrets, to the point to where you may be in your 50s and 60s at this point. You still don't even talk about it. Them people been going about 30 years now, but you're still holding strong to the family. The family is all that you have. And man, listen, your family is just characters in your story. If you're afraid to lose somebody, you got to think about it. If you lose them when they transition, what's the difference between losing when they transition and losing while they're alive? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be one or the other. But at the end of the day, within that transition, you have to understand that you came to do something different. That's the reason why you're the next generation. You're a part of that particular lineage. That's just like a lot of times I said in previous messages. Some people wasn't listening, but I bet you I got their attention now. Hey, ladies, the reason why you still talking about men is because all you've had was males in transition. You never had you a man yet, because if you had you a man, you will know the difference between a male and a man. You heard me? You got to think about it. You're probably still operating like this in present day. Every male that you've ever gotten within your tenure has been someone that lusted after you, that you lusted after, and then y'all broke up and you blamed him for everything. You use him as the pawn in your story in order to catch your next fish. Only the spiritual individual is going to hear what I'm saying. Then when you have a conversation with a man, you realize that you don't have nothing in common to be able to help that man with. Just like, for instance, every time I get a new friend on social media, I always go into the inbox and, I greet them in the inbox. And I also say, I'm a part of the small percentage of individuals who believe that in this realm, we are supposed to learn something from each other, or I'm supposed to teach you something. So I've been teaching for quite some time, so I'm ready to learn. What am I doing when I do this? What I'm doing is I'm trying to see who am I connected to. If you can't teach me nothing, what make you think I'm trying to be in a relationship with you? You heard what you trying to teach me? You're trying to teach me about something or tell me about something that somebody else did. That's that victim mind. That's that victim mindset. You heard me? You want to come and tell me that you're a victim to the point to where when I ask you, what was your role within the situation, and your conversation is minimal. You heard me? Oh, well, no, not no, oh, well, you was just, you was like a little machine gun saying everything that he did. My baby, listen, let me be the man to tell you. What you're doing is you giving that next male the ability to basically pretend to be different from the last individual, but he can't be different because remember, when Big Mama said, don't talk to strangers when you leave the house, or your mama said that Papa was a rolling stone, but she never said that like spirits attract, my baby, that's just a mirror of you. You're not healed, and you're going to attract that same individual that's not healed. So y'all are going to both be in a situation where y'all pretending, and then once you stop pretending, is when usually the relationship is over with. Why am I telling you this? You heard me? I could have told you this in your inbox, but you probably would have never listened to me anyway, because at the same time, your whole situation was thinking that you was going to treat me like you treated them, but I am actually an individual that actually knows himself. I know who I am. So you can go and sugarcoat, because you got to think about it, as I said maybe yesterday. But at some point, I don't know when I'm going to drop this video. I said that when a spirit can no longer manipulate one spirit, it has to go and get other spirits to try that they can manipulate to look at that particular spirit a certain way. But guess what the beautiful thing about it is? Everybody that believes, their money starts to dwindle. It's not just the money either. There's a lot of other stuff that start to dwindle. Sometimes they end up losing marriages behind a belief, because you don't mess with God's, you know what I'm saying? You don't mess with God's children. They got a lot of people that say that they're a child of God, but at the same time, they don't have no relationship with the man. Think about it. Some of us don't even have relationship with the Father that we have that actually would help the creation. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have no relationship with him, and you ain't got no relationship with the Creator. To the point to where, guess what, ladies? If a man was to ask you how you feel about a long distance relationship, that's the reason why whenever you're on your little social media rants, or when you're in your little private little dating sites, you always just in your area. You heard me? A man come in and ask you how you feel about a long distance relationship, and you say, "Oh no, not me. I can't deal. That's not my thing." Well, guess what? What you telling a man is that you don't have a relationship with the Creator, because that's a long distance relationship. Oh man, I never thought about it like that. That's the difference between the carnal mindset and the religious mindset. Because a lot of y'all sitting up there thinking about or thinking that your husband's is in just your area. God created my husband right down the street, right there in Lafayette, on the south side, or in Karen Crew. Or better yet, what if you find out that your husband is from the Berry? You heard me? Where you met him at? Strawberries back in the day? Or at Miami Moon? That's where you think you're going to meet your husband? Come on, man. Hey, think about it. Every time you get a new relationship, you find yourself having to go and delete the last relationship to get the new relationship, to come and pretend with another male, to then try to blame that male again. Some of y'all sit back to go even further. Y'all have changed your last name and y'all ain't even married to the dude. You're just trying to show him that, he's worthy. Just like, for instance, there's a specific spirit within this world that'll basically sit up there and operate just on a different level. Don't think it's different. It's all the sin is going to be a sin. What they'll do is they'll tell the new man that the father is not involved. Think about it, ladies. I'm going in right now. You heard me? I got to go in because y'all think y'all slick. You heard me? Not everybody gonna fall for that. You will tell the new man that the father is not involved in the children or in the child life. And then the new male is going to gather his children and bring them over to your house to show you that, he's a father in their life. He's a strong man in their life. And then guess what? Once that situation don't work out, what happens next? Or is the guy that's strategically not, in the child's life, was he the reason why the new relationship didn't work out either? Or at what point, because y'all going to have to help me, at what point does the baby daddy finally stop getting the blame for something that somebody created? Think about it, brothers. I know I probably got some men watching at this point. What happens when you realize that the reason why your daddy wasn't there is because of something that your mama strategically did? Yeah, I'm going in. I'm speaking my truth, because guess what? I done got to the point of understanding that the devil has decided that since he can't get to me, he has to use my family. He has to tell my aunts and uncles that he can't get to all of them, but certain ones, the ones that's religious, they love everybody. They don't see no fault in nobody else. But at the same time, they're not understanding spirits. Because the thing about the life that we're living currently is you can say something, but if somebody else says something, they'll believe it like they read it in the Bible too. So now you just got to sit uncomfortable at a family event. Wow, I keep hearing all that. What's the situation? They're using you for energy. That's what this world is all about. Whatever vibration you give off, when they sense that an individual doesn't know who they are, that's where they reign supreme. Now, how many men are out there who don't know who they are on behalf of, or better yet, this is something that I said a time ago. There's individuals out there who won't become who they was created to be because of something that somebody said at the end of a relationship. Chances are, as you're watching this, you might be in a relationship now, knowing that you're still pretending. And as long as you're going to pretend, guess what? Your children got to watch you pretend. To the point to where if a parent doesn't live out their purpose, because you got to think, they have a purpose. But at the same time, that's not the same purpose that God kids have to have a purpose for. But we're going to get into that particular piece of that particular information too. What we supposed to be? It's 14 minutes. You see how, I got so much information. Within that hospital, I ended up watching that video to the point to where I came out of the hospital and I reversed type 2 diabetes. Remember I was out there walking 10 miles? I reversed type 2 diabetes. I was trying to encourage individuals from back home that I know that's sitting up there with diabetes, trying to encourage them. Now, mind you, I'm walking 10. All I'm doing is trying to ask them to walk 1. And I couldn't even get them to do that. You heard me? Because they're okay with living with that particular disease. Now, mind you, I had absolutely no idea that type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol can be reversed. The reason being is because nobody had the opportunity. Well, everybody had the opportunity. Like the Bible said, many are called, but few are chosen. They have the information. All you got to do is get out and go get it. Once you get out and go get it, everything changes because God gonna give you the ability to change it. Think about it back in 2020. I had this heart attack in January. In March was when the pandemic started. Still to this day, I believe that there's people that still haven't experienced the pandemic. And I was looking at some stuff on Clubhouse earlier. Somebody said something about they got COVID is back. I don't know what that is. I don't pay attention to current events, but at the same time, we got a lot of people that do. And as long as you still focus on current events and creating these podcasts about current events, and then you go home to be miserable because that's still not what you're supposed to be doing, then that's the life that you're creating for yourself. You heard me? There's more to life than that. But anyway, I've been the black sheep of my family since 2020 because I started asking certain questions that nobody want to answer. Even with my elders, I go to the elders, hey, why didn't you tell me such and such, this and that, this and that? Just like, you know what, I'm telling you, there's a lot of information that's going to be released. Anyway, when I told my family that I reversed type 2 diabetes, they looked at me strange. Who he think he is, how he do that, what make him think he's special. You got to think about it, baby. Many are called, but few are chosen. Chances are you're chosen as well. But at the same time, you still allow, what that was on day one, you still try to find the approval of others before you go ahead and get your health in order, to the point to where the pandemic is supposedly over. But at the same time, you still doing the same thing you was doing before the pandemic. A pandemic gave you the opportunity to wear masks. A lot of people was already wearing masks before the pandemic started, and they still wearing masks now, although you don't have the mandate to wear masks. I'm going in, y'all. I'm telling you, listen. I hope that there was something said. We had the 18-minute mark. I hope there was something said that is going to help you to see that everybody's involved, from your parents to your family, to the people that you had relations with, to your friends. Everybody's involved in your particular game, in your particular movie. You allowed them access in your movie, so as long as you operate within your ego is going to give you emotions. But once you become spiritual, you don't deal with the emotion. You can care less what somebody's going to say about you, because that is a different road from what you're standing on. You heard me? Are you willing to get on this narrow road? Because this narrow road got some beautiful people on it. I'm meeting, especially when it comes to YouTube, I'm meeting so many beautiful people that's teaching in their particular, in their purpose. You heard me? But I'm sure that you don't watch nothing like that, because nobody around you telling you that you're supposed to have a dream. They told me go to college. I went to college and I graduated college, but nobody said nothing about go to college and then come out and build somebody else's dream. That you got to think about, in this life, we are lied to before we was taught to change. Eventually, I'm going to talk about that too. But anyway, I see we're at the 19-minute mark. You heard me? I don't want to take no more of your time, baby. You heard me? Hey, thank you for chilling with Big T. You know what I'm saying? All of the above, Tommy Durrell. This is the new me, baby. You heard me? Whatever they told you, yes, sir, you decided to listen to it. Here's my truth. I'm going to keep giving it to you, and we're going to see what the comments are saying. Grace and peace.